Oh, hey guys.
Decided to share my vodka with John, so he was making sure he got every last little bit of it.
That's good stuff.
It was good stuff. And hey, there we are. That's perfect. That's a perfect start. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Talking Heads, episode 51, and I really hope I counted properly. Yeah, last week was 50.
I think it was 50. Yeah.
So yeah, 51 this week. What's going on? Right as the train rolls in.
Right?
Really? Gosh. It's the problem with my new studio is we're upstairs and the sound carries a little bit more, but whatever. I don't care. Welcome to the show. I'm Jeff.
I'm John.
Happy Wednesday to you.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm glad it's getting to the end of the week.
Yeah.
You know, it's closing toward the end of the week.
Only two left.
Yes.
Only two left. I could use a drink.
I could use a drink as well, Jeff. And for you, I have brought a plethora of selections. Nothing but the finest for us on Talking Heads.
Now, John knows I'm a sucker for a good barrel-aged. The heavier, the better.
Yeah.
John,
I brought a big, heavy, not quite barrel-aged, but barrel-aged.
John, what did you bring me?
I brought Budweiser's Jim Beam Copper Lager. It's a big beer. It's 6.2. So Budweiser finally
You're
cracked
in
the
my
5%.
definition of big beer differs greatly.
I mean,
It's probably the biggest Budweiser I've ever seen.
yeah, you know, I think back in the early 90s they might have had like Bud Ice or something. But I think this is the largest Budweiser I've ever had.
Yeah. And that was like a 7.0.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. Yeah.
So we have that, and we talked about this on the show. Now, we also talked about Def Leppard's beer coming from Elysian. I think you and Steve talked about it.
Sound is off. How far is off? I hate it when it does this. Which direction is it off? Hold on.
Left to right, right to left.
Yeah. Hold on. Get my earbud, turn it back on.
Oh, yeah, there's nice.
Good Lord, it's off by almost a second.
Please don't restart.
I'm not going to restart. I think I can fix it. It's actually...
Is it YouTube?
It's off just barely now. It's not nearly as bad now. One sec. God, this is irritating. Every freaking time.
I didn't even read the description.
Let's try that.
I can drink this beer now.
Bear with me. That's closer. Okay. Let's go.
Nothing to do with
I'm just going to go for broke and go for...
1 whole second.
No, I'm going to go for... It's only off by like about a quarter second. There we go. I'm going to roll with that. Sorry if it's off.
Hopefully it'll get better.
Yeah.
This is the train.
It was the train. I'm going to blame the train. That's pretty close. That's close enough for my work.
Close enough for
Close enough for what we do.
enjoyability.
All right. How's it going, guys?
Hey! So like I said, I brought another beer. You can even enjoy it with one arm. Too much?
Too much. Too soon.
Too soon. We talked about this.
Okay, I guess it has been like 20 years now,
Yeah,
hasn't
like
it?
30, 40 years. 30 years. I think you and Steve talked about this one, but Elysian did a collaboration with Def Leppard.
Yes.
So I found that, got that. And then I actually did bring a good beer.
Yes.
The few that
One
that we have to split.
Yeah.
It's Block 15's
Brought me a half a beer.
Reflections. A Belgian style double ale. Dubbel ale.
Yep.
So, what do you want to get into? I know It's tantalizing.
You know what? Let's get it out of the way.
All right.
Let's get it out of the way.
Do you even want to pour it in a glass?
Yes.
All right.
Don't really want to sully my glassware, but sure. You know, I got the fancy tall ones back there.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Far on the top right. There you go.
That's the only way we're gonna make this beer good.
That's right. Let's fancy it up a little bit. Let's get the true Pilsner glasses out.
Yes. So, you don't need it, Jeff.
Oh, jeez.
It's too classy for that. Don't worry about it. See? It just works. It just...
Not quite. Alright, let's see if we can generate some aroma on this.
Look at that. It's like a commercial.
Yeah, that's probably the best ped you've ever poured in my house.
Because I'm not pouring for you.
That's right. Oh, man. So again, this is the Budweiser Copper Lager Jim Beam, aged in real barrel staves.
Yes.
And it's not even the beer. The head's already gone.
Yeah, I know.
It's not even aged in
the barrels or the woods in the liquid.
Right. So what this is they aged the grain. So they basically got their mash, and then they tossed a bunch of chipped up Jim Beam barrels into it.
Yeah, pretty much.
So the loosest definition possible of aged with Jim Beam. Yeah. Mm-hmm. God, I hate you.
It's not horrible. Yeah.
Ooh.
Like I said, it's kind of where I was saying earlier. It's probably kind of similar to that George Washington one we had.
See, if I dig... See, I don't even want to call that oak. There's a woody taste, but it's not oak. It's there's nothing reminiscent about any kind of bourbon in there.
Oh, no. What's up? And besides, would you want Jim Beam as the bourbon?
I don't mind Jim Beam. I'm not going to drink it straight, but if they pour that in a cocktail, I'm okay.
Like a Coke?
Yeah.
Like I brought last time?
That was pretty bad.
Regular Budweiser has Beechwood.
Yeah.
So I wonder if they just took the Beechwood, threw it out, and threw Jim Beam stabs
right
in, and then said, let's just throw some kind of red malt in there.
Yeah.
And that's it.
We better drink this quick before it warms up. The only way to drink this as cold as the Rockies.
It's not horrible.
There's this...
You kind of do taste the alcohol.
You do taste the alcohol. That's actually kind of surprising to me. There's a little bit of a bite to this.
Yeah.
Not much.
Not much, but if you compare it to just regular Budweiser.
Right. It's a little bit of a boozy Budweiser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bud Ice. It's a pretty color.
It is a pretty color. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
That's actually fairly attractive. Almost like an amber.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of beers that are probably terrible ideas from inception, John, what do you got for us?
Well, what an intro. I don't know, but I like pancakes. You like pancakes?
Love pancakes.
You love pancakes. A lot of people love pancakes.
Cannot get enough pancakes.
And
I'm more of a waffle fan.
I'm drunk at 1 a.m. I came back for a concert. I want pancakes and bacon.
Yeah.
That's usually what I do.
Yeah.
Waffles is fine.
We've all wound up at Denny's.
We've all wound up at Denny's or an IHOP.
Yep.
Well, IHOP decided to get into the beer business. Specifically, they are making a pumpkin pancake beer.
Yes.
It's not necessarily them. They have collaborated with Keegan Ales in New York City.
Right.
And so they have come together because I guess, and I've never had this, IHOP makes this pumpkin spice.
They do their cinnasation, I guess is what they call it. So they have a bunch of cinnamon inspired breakfast. Breakfast. So they do cinnamon rolls and cinnamon pancakes and waffles and things like that, and cinnamon French toast.
It's not bad.
And whatnot. And during October, they do pumpkin spice inspired things as well.
Ah.
So they'll do pumpkin pancakes and etc. So this is kind of a two-way. They've got a little bit of cinnamon, a little bit of pumpkin, and they're making it into a beer.
Yeah, so Keegan Ales actually does take the exact same spice recipe, and I believe they even said part of
some of the batter mix,
too, into this beer, and it is a stout.
It's a stout, which that's probably the one redeeming thing about this is it's not gonna be a pale, it's not gonna be an amber, it's not gonna be a lager and an easy drinker. This is gonna be a nice thick beer that actually might be kind of decent.
No, yeah, I think actually it probably could be pretty decent. I haven't seen any reviews yet on it.
And I know how much of a fan of pumpkin beers you are.
I'll try it. I'm not a fan, but I find that pumpkin beers are some of the most unique beers out there because they really push the limits. And if you can make pumpkin beer taste good, man, you got some good skill on you.
Exactly.
So, but yes, if you're in New York, they do list in this link. You can go there to find where it's all distributed. It's only in New York.
Right.
This is a one-time running. They're stating that right now they have no talks of possibly expanding or continuing seasonal other beers or doing it next year or expanding the distribution.
Right.
So if you can find it, get it. It might be a big trade commodity this October for beers.
I know if I have any fans in New York, I'd certainly love to try some. Yeah. And I have that brand new P.O. box. So.
Ooh, check that out.
So if anyone's in the New York area and happens to swing into an IHOP and can grab us a bottle, I'd love to open one here on the show.
Now, they don't sell them at IHOPs.
Right. That's right. Yeah. It's distributed locally within the state of New York by distributors.
Yeah, by distributors. But yes, it does have the IHOP blessing and their logo. So it is a collaboration between IHOP and Keen Brewing or whatever I said it was.
Right.
I
believe it's throughout New York State.
Not city. If I said city, sorry, it's New York State.
I think we just said New York, which most people just assume Manhattan.
Yeah.
No, it was it's throughout the state.
Yes.
So, yeah, I'd try it.
I would try it. I like the most interesting part was the pancake batter. Was actually, it wasn't the fact that they use spices, because I've seen a lot of people use, we do a stout with pumpkin spices.
And horchata.
Or some, something. But I don't think I've ever recalled a beer say, we have pumpkin or pancake batter in our beer. I'm interested in that. Is that going to give this milky, buttery creaminess, this sweetness, vanilla I would expect? Is it going to make the body thicker?
All right, you sold me. I'm actually wanting to try one of these.
Right? Well, it's a stout. It's a stout, so I'm thinking it's going to be a thick stout now.
Yeah.
I was almost really hoping it was an imperial stout, so kind of more of a syrup, where they could pour it on the pancake.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You know what I'm talking about, those big, thick beers.
Yeah.
Or even make a syrup they combine with the beer. That would be pretty cool.
I almost wonder if you could base it down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I wonder if IHOP could take it, boil the alcohol out, base it down, and mix it with the syrup to serve with. Be like, here's our beer syrup with our pumpkin pancakes.
Yeah.
All right. I would go, even if there's no alcohol in it, I would still go to it and be like, I'm going to go have breakfast.
Let's see if I can get my monitor a little closer here. It's a brand new setup in the studio here. So my monitor's actually further off to the side than it was before. So I feel like I'm doing the show like this now.
Yeah.
And I'm really trying not to. Also, I don't have a second monitor anymore, which I used to have one overhead. I don't have that anymore. So everything is clicking back and forth over here. It's not that I'm not paying attention to you fine people. But I got a show to run. All right.
So, but, I guess there's some big beer stuff that's going on in the northeast coast. New York, there's that. Yeah. And I guess New Jersey is actually, I think, having a little too much fun.
Yeah. Now, you ran a bar for a couple years. There are certain things you could do as a bar and certain things you can't do as a bar. There's certain promotions you can run and you can't run. It's all regulated by both the ATF, Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, as well as your local state agency for that. for what they consider appropriate advertisement and appropriate consumption areas.
Yep, events and everything that I can do.
Right.
How do I do these events?
Right.
What permits do I need?
It also varies based on if you're a brewery with a tasting room or a retail establishment selling bottles or a bar.
Yeah.
Or,
Do I have a full menu, a full kitchen?
Right. Are you required to have a full menu?
Am I
in the
required to have all that? So there's a lot of these rules that go into owning bars, brew pubs, and everything. Well, in New Jersey, for breweries now, and a lot of craft breweries, the 88 craft breweries in New Jersey that are registered as craft breweries, I'm sure there are probably some up and coming that. New Jersey has decided to do this new, what do they called it? A trial run on these new regulations, essentially.
Yeah.
That are hindering these breweries now from doing particular things. They are treating breweries similar to like major chain bars almost, I think.
Yeah.
So where they are now...
Well, no, I think what it is they're trying to make sure that the brewery tasting rooms don't compete with the bars. I read it a different way. Because before it was... Because we know a bunch of people who run breweries here in the state. We know a lot of the bad brewers.
We know a lot. Basically, everyone in Salem.
We know every single brewmaster in Salem.
Yeah.
And beyond.
Yeah.
But what the breweries were doing is they were running tasting rooms, which a lot of the breweries around here do.
Yep.
And every single Sunday they say, "Oh, we've got every NFL game," or they go, "Hey, on Thursdays we're doing trivia. We're doing karaoke on Fridays,
Taco Tuesday."
Exactly, and
we're doing a event, small or big.
Correct.
They're doing a event.
Yeah, if you advertise something, it's an event.
Yes.
If I advertise a trivia night, that counts as an event.
If you're hosting parties or even private events. I hosted a wedding and a couple birthdays at my place. And I had to shut down for a private event or sectioned off an area for a private event.
Right. But what I think these regulations are is that they're clamping down on the number of events that a brewery can have. And I think what was happening is these breweries were operating like bars and trying to draw people directly to the brewery.
Yeah.
Which makes perfect business sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect business.
And honestly, I think it's a little heavy-handed by New Jersey.
Oh, it is. And, well, it's even worse, too, is if one of the regulations... So there are 4 big main regulations. Breweries can now only hold 25 special events. And those are the events that we were talking about. Trivia night, karaoke night, live televised UFC, NFL...
Super Bowl. Come watch an NFL game on Sunday. If you advertise that you can do something at the brewery, that's an event.
They're even talking bands. Live bands now at your bar. They can only do 25 of these a year.
Right.
So that's... do a month.
Yeah.
That's it. So that's trivia night every other week, and that's it. So you get 2 of those a month. You can only do... Breweries are limited to 12 special permits to sell their beer off premises. Now, they're talking about, like, events or Brewfest or, like, a charity event. So that means you can only do 1 event per month.
Yep.
Essentially, festivals, anything like that. You are only allowed to do 52 private event, birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, and then you are only electronically and then you have to electronically notify them 10 days, at minimum of 10 days prior to the event happening.
Right.
So you can't just spontaneously say, oh crap, I forgot the game's on. I'm going to do a game night, or trivia. Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot to blast the tweet out. You can't do that.
Right.
You have to do it 10 days prior, or you have to notify the state 10 days prior, and then you can do it and get approved.
And it has to be approved.
Yeah, it has to be approved.
Yeah.
So that's it's kind of a they're saying it's for a temporary pilot basis.
Right.
But
what it is you have craft breweries that are starting to take traffic away from the local bars.
Yeah.
And I think that's where this emanates from. Because that's certainly the case in Salem.
If that's how it was. I mean, but Oregon, our breweries and everything, they thrive on that.
Right.
They're not even... New Jersey isn't even allowed to have a taco truck there.
Right. Yeah, you can't coordinate with food trucks.
Yeah, they're taking away taco trucks and everything. They are giving them the permission to sell snacks, but if you need a full-fledged restaurant or some people need to stay and eat to stay longer, You're not allowed to have that. You have to build your own kitchen.
Right. What I find really funny about this is New Jersey has 88 craft breweries. Aren't there like 35 in Salem?
Yeah.
Sorry, just wanted to throw that out there. Yeah.
We like beer.
We like beer. Yeah. And I didn't even include the cideries,
Or the wineries.
The wineries. Yeah, there's Willamette Vineyards that's down the road.
Oh yeah, and there's some distilleries opening up too.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
I think the first or second one are starting to open up.
Yep.
So, but yeah, that's kind of a crappy thing New Jersey's doing. I think.
And New Jersey, they have a habit of being very, very heavy-handed with their.
It's a Jersey thing.
It's a Jersey thing. With their enforcement of things, with their regulation of anything and everything. And this is just one more thing to
notch it down.
Yep.
So apparently Skull saying our audio delay is back.
And
or
I fixed, yeah.
Is that old? Oh, that's old.
Yeah.
I can't see. Again, the monitor's so far away, I can't see timestamps anymore. So.
Yep. Audio delay is back. I tried again. Looks good. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I see text, but the
New York, New Jersey, same thing. Greedy tax collectors. That's why my house is for sale.
You can move to Oregon.
That's right. Move to Oregon. Your property tax won't go down.
No.
But there's no sales tax. Our gas tax is significantly less.
Yeah.
It's a high cost of living, but it's lower than New York.
Oh, way lower.
Yeah.
Lower. It depends where you live.
Yeah.
But it's we got beer.
We got a lot of beer.
We got a lot of beer.
A lot of beer.
So.
All right.
Well, that's all we got for beer.
Yeah.
Now I know usually we kind of do a new beer.
Yeah, we try to open right now.
Try to open now, but I don't see us pounding this down.
Mm-mm. I can only go so fast, and I'm really upset by that.
I think it's better than the George Washington.
It's better than the George Washington one. There's this aftertaste that lingers with it, though.
It is.
And it's irritating. It's sour.
It actually has this, like, ricey, artificial flavor.
It's very
drying.
artificial. The upfront flavor on this actually isn't that bad. Like, this doesn't hit you right at the tip of your tongue. But as the taste settles into your mouth and you get that aftertaste, it develops into this ricey, artificial, and like I said, it's like this woody, earthy taste, but it's not a good woody. It's like I'm chewing on plywood.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is. I can taste that now.
Yeah. I've been trying to place it, and it's not the birchwood. It's not the...
No.
It's not oak. It's certainly not Jim Beam.
Well, it could be that these are so old Jim Beam stabs that's how they got them for so cheap, or with the partnership.
Well, you can only age whiskey in a barrel once? In the States.
So then... yes, but then those barrels could have been given to breweries.
Correct.
And then so on and so forth, and transported out, and... Yep. Or they
actually more times than not, American whiskey barrels. Sometimes they're sold to breweries. Most of the times they're shipped over to Scotland, so Scotland can age Scotch. Because in America, the whiskey regulation is you have to age in new oak to be considered whiskey. You have to be aged in new American oak. Scotland, you can only age your whiskey in used barrels. You cannot use a new barrel to age Scotch.
Interesting.
And so what happens oftentimes is you will have an American distiller age their whiskey in new American oak barrels and then ship them to Scotland, so Scotland can consider it a used barrel and age Scotch in an American barrel.
Interesting. I wonder if that is...
Yeah, there's quite the trade there.
I did not know that. That's pretty cool.
Yep. Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic with that. Just goes to show that whiskey is better than Scotch. You know how they get that Scotch flavor? By aging in American whiskey barrels.
Whiskey barrels. So if you just age your whiskey...
I'm kidding. I love Scotch. Don't hate me. Okay.
You're going to get tons of comments now.
Yeah.
Screw you. This isn't craft computing. You don't know liquor.
Yeah. No, I totally know liquor. You didn't know that.
I did not know that. I did not know that. That's a new one for me.
I'm trying.
It's only 12 ounces.
Ooh, it's almost syrupy right there.
It's 12 ounces.
I know. It's not a friendly 12 ounces, though.
It's a little lighter on the bottom. I don't know if that's my spit or just the glassware.
Well, the glass does taper off.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's... Okay, now I don't like it. I hit the point, I don't know if it warmed up like 2 degrees. I don't like it anymore.
There are very few beers that I have not been able to finish.
Yeah.
I think there's only been about 2 in my life.
It's been more than that with me. I try so hard not to be a hipster.
Oh, yeah?
I try so hard to drink anything, everything, try everything once. With domestic beer, it really is a struggle, and I hate that phrase. Like, I don't like domestic beer. I don't like big beer. I literally don't.
I try to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
Also, I do like to taste the whole flavor of everything. Again, that's why I like doing my little tiny show.
Right.
Craft hops and brews.
You did it again.
I do it all the time. But I do like tasting the very beginning. Like you said, 2 degrees colder. I wanted to taste. What did it taste like 2 degrees warmer?
I told you it wasn't going to be as good once.
No, it was not as good. No. But I want to know. I don't consider malt liquor a beer. So if I get like, some crappy malt liquor Mexican Four Loko, I won't finish that.
Just so everyone knows,
he did do it.
I didn't like it, but he did it.
I think one of the ones I did was
Let's get another beer.
It was just too sweet.
Yeah.
I think I did a Southern Tier. I think it was the creme brulee or something like that, and I had half it, and I was like, this is just sugar, and I feel like I'm going to have diabetes at the end of this. So I dumped it.
That is a beer that has so many conflicting flavors in it, that Budweiser. Because you said creme brulee, and now I'm tasting like this vanilla creaminess to it.
It kind of had a flat soda taste.
Yeah, like a flat cream soda.
Like a flat cream soda.
Yeah.
And that's been left out, like, if you had a 2 liter and you left it out on your kitchen counter, open, and then you tried to cool it back down.
Right.
And poured it in, like...
Yeah, it was a little bit bubbly, but it wasn't an aggressive carbonation. Like I said, most of the notes that I was getting was the rice and a little bit of artificial sweetener to it.
Some slight wood.
Some slight wood, but it wasn't like a good wood.
No.
And then you said creme brulee, and it triggered, and I went, wow, there's like a little bit of vanilla creaminess. That's probably the one redeeming thing about that beer.
No, the redeeming thing is 6.2%.
Right, but there was certainly no bourbon in that.
No.
At all.
Nuts, whatever. You know what's really crappy? They're wanting $10 for a 6-pack. $10. There are craft beer IPAs coming 6-packs that I got for $7.99.
Yeah.
$2 cheaper.
Yeah, there are some Dubbel IPAs that I can pick up for about that $7.99 price point, or like a Fort George Vortex.
Yeah,
a 4-pack of 16s.
Yeah, exactly.
For $8, $9.
They wanted $9.99, and that's how cheap. And I even saw it at a $10.49 mark. Wow. And here in Oregon, we are now at the 10-cent deposit, so you have to pay another 60 cents on top of that.
Yeah.
Hey, does this have that?
I'm sure it does.
That 10-cent mark? It does!
Yep, Oregon 10 cent.
Oregon 10 cent.
Michigan, Oregon. We're part of Michigan now.
Yeah.
All
right, some Def Leppard. It's supposed to be just a pale.
Yep.
Drinkable beer.
I am cool with that. So.
It's like pouring some sugar all over me. I'm gonna Armageddon on.
All right, John, how's your pour? Nice.
Yeah.
We are nailing it tonight, although that first one was, there's no excuse to get that one wrong.
No.
Very citrusy.
Yes, very citrusy.
Wow.
That's what I got.
Just from the little drop that I had. Hey, the D, $5. Hi, guys. Sorry I'm late. Found a litter of kittens at work a couple days ago. Any clever name ideas?
7 of 9. Thing 1 and Thing 2.
Let's see. Elysian.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, a stout, IPA.
Yeah.
Ale. Porter.
Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Yeah.
Scotch.
Scotch is a great name.
Scotch is actually a pretty good name.
That's a good name.
That's a good name.
You gotta name one Scotch for me.
Yeah, I got to name a Scotch.
You got any like brown striped ones?
Neat.
Yeah, neat. Is everyone in Oregon an alcoholic? We're functioning.
Yeah.
Functioning.
That's why everyone's moving here.
All right, so a little bit of citrus there on the nose. Ooh.
There's a little hoppiness to us.
Yeah. But the hoppiness comes midway through.
Mm-hmm. It's not super hoppy either. It's,
no. Very bitter, but not real intense.
No. There's a lingering hoppiness. Mm-hmm. That citrus is just kind of almost just quick at the front, and then
it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone as soon as you taste it.
It just tastes like oh wow, I'm getting a lot of hoppiness now.
Oh yeah, end. That second drink.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But yeah, that's not bad. It's a hoppy pale.
He's got 4 tabbies and 1 black.
Stout, porter, Russian Imperial.
That's right.
Bourbon barrel aged.
Name one goose. Do a Goose Island.
Goose Island. There you go. Goose.
A little Bourbon County stout.
Or that can also be like someone's gonna think he's Top Gun. Goose.
Yeah, goose.
All right, some tech news.
Tech news.
We got a new beer, so it's time for tech.
That's right. Let's get on it. So, I seem to be on the Apple hate train as of late, and I really don't mean to, because at one point I did really like Apple as a company.
When I first met Jeff was like, "One Apple."
It wasn't that bad.
You were.
What has always been my mantra, John?
If it works, it works.
Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you. And at the time, Apple was the best product you could get.
Ah.
It was. Since about 2012, they've been kind of taking this steady downfall and whatnot, and I've been very vocal about that. This one's kind of a new twist on things. Qualcomm has come out and openly accused Apple of stealing industry secrets and giving them to rival Intel to help boost Intel's performance on Apple devices.
Yeah.
And this relates to the modem and ARM level thing, or the cellular modems.
Yeah. I was going to say the phones.
Yeah. So for years, Apple used Qualcomm modems in their devices, and they had an agreement with Qualcomm where they had access to their source code, and they could modify the source code as needed for the iPhone to make the Qualcomm modems work better or display the right information or function in a certain way. They had base level access to these Qualcomm chips. Qualcomm, sometime, I believe it was in 2017 or late 2016.
I thought it was like, end of last year, or beginning of last year, sorry.
Right. Basically, Apple has gone away from Qualcomm. There was like a split year where they, like, half of them were Qualcomm, half of them were Intel. And then they went over to 100% Intel chips on their modems. And Qualcomm requested an audit of the source code that Apple was using for the modem communication with Intel, as per the contract that Apple signed with Qualcomm. Because if you have rights to someone's source code, they have a right to audit the way you're using that source code. Regardless of whether or not the chips are in the device, they have the right to audit to make sure their industry secrets are staying safe. Apple refused to let them audit their source code. Yeah.
Yeah, that was an interesting thing.
That was the beginning of it.
That was the beginning, and that was Qualcomm. Basically, they started suing them for that. Basically, because Apple said no, so they put a suit against them, filed an injunction, said no, you need to give this to us. We're suing you over this.
Yep.
That was a while ago, actually.
That was late 2016, early 2017,
yeah,
I believe. Because that was the time that they switched over to all Intel processors.
It was basically almost like 2 or 3 months after they switched. Then they said, okay, we need to make sure our code's safe.
Right, exactly.
And now Intel and Apple are coming out, and there's some stuff in there that's like, Qualcomm's like, this is a little familiar.
Yeah. We know how you did that.
We know, yeah. This how did you come up with this? This seems quite odd.
And not only that, but the performance gains that Intel made year over year don't reflect their growth trajectory. So unless they came upon an algorithm that was absolutely perfect. They got that information from somewhere, someone, somehow. That might be an industry partner with Apple.
So Qualcomm is now on top of that they claiming they stole studios. They're trying to also combine the two suits. They're saying no matter what, we're suing twice.
Right.
If this happens, it's either going to go in the original one or a new one. Yep. Either way, Apple, you're getting sued.
Right. Basically, Qualcomm's stance was the original lawsuit can stand on its own, and this lawsuit can stand on its own. Now we're trying to get them all in one lawsuit. Yeah. But honestly, if the court rejects that, we'll just sue them once for that, and we'll sue for breach of contract, and we'll sue them again for stealing our source code.
Yep.
And giving it to Intel, which I
think they can sue Intel for, couldn't they?
No,
I guess they couldn't.
No, because they received the source code from Apple.
Oh, yeah, yep.
There might be some litigation to be had against Intel.
If there was some proprietary whatever, and then it is somehow found out that Intel purposely basically just copied and pasted, which would be stupid on Intel's part. But they're not making the best decisions right now anyway.
They probably didn't copy and paste because, I mean, hardware differences, there's going to be differences throughout. But if you can take the core concepts that are in that source code and apply it to other hardware, which is totally possible, it's all dealing with the same signals, the same algorithms that are required for communicating with cell towers, et cetera, et cetera.
But again, too, this is only basically for mobile devices, too. This isn't any of the
this
PCs,
is
laptops.
Cellular modems is what this is.
I believe it's the iPhones and the iPads. Mm-hmm. I don't believe this actually has anything to do with laptops or towers.
Yep. Isn't everyone always suing someone? And yeah, pretty much. But this one is shady even for Apple, if this bears out to be true. Because there's nothing worse than a woman scorned, or hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Hell hath no fury like a company with stolen source code.
Oh yeah. Even if you're a small company, Apple can try burying it. It'll come back and bite you.
It has bit Apple before.
Yeah.
It has. Where they've trotted on someone else's source code or trotted on someone else's patent, and it's come back to bite Apple for multiple hundreds of millions of dollars. Mm-hmm. And a company the size of Qualcomm, this could be a judgment in the magnitude of billions, because of Qualcomm was the industry leader for cellular technology, and all of a sudden Intel has caught up to them in performance, and Qualcomm thinks it's because Apple shared source code. And if that's the case, you're on the hook for billions because, those are some pretty heavy allegations.
Yeah. So I don't think it's going to be decided anytime soon. Mm-hmm. Obviously, something like this is going to take years and years to go through.
Yep.
But even 2-3 years from now, we might see something.
Yep.
Of Apple accused of selling out someone else's product. But that's just a bad rep for Apple, too. If this does turn back bad for them, people don't want to use them. Then Apple's going to have to do all in-house stuff or go to even a worse third party.
Yep.
So.
Exactly. Well, now that Intel is caught up with competition, why do you need to use anyone else?
Yeah. Well. Well, we know how good Intel is at keeping... So then, 10 years from now, when Intel's still using
we all know how good Intel is at keeping a lead.
Yeah.
Let's just keep refining this one. We can't get past 14 nanometer. No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. We have a 15% boost. We put a 15% boost on it.
We don't have enough chips to sell. Should we just roll our chipset back to 22 nanometer? Yeah, no one will notice. No, that's cool.
Fine. Yeah, cool. We're going to do a retro thing. Oh, yeah.
We're bringing the 8086 back. Oh, a special edition CPU? No, we're going back to 8086.
Yeah.
How big was that, bud?
It seems like past couple of months it's Apple and Intel. We just rag on the two of them.
I know. I don't mean to.
No, it's not.
I try to be fair and balanced and unbiased.
It's just so we do.
They just keep making bad decisions.
Yeah, we do news searches. All four of us do news searches throughout the week, and we're just like, honestly, half of us we have our little favorite spots, and then even if you just Google tech news. First two things, Apple, Intel does this. It's like...
And this one involved both of them.
Yeah, so you just can't get around it. It's so big that even the lowest tech news search, grabs it. Mm-hmm. It's on Facebook feeds.
There was a company who sued Apple over the name iPhone because it turns out they'd already made a product with that name and trademarked it. That was Cisco.
Oh, really?
Cisco had trademarked iPhone as a product for a phone. Now, it was an intelligent phone that was a VoIP phone that sat on your desk. And Apple said, we're going to name this the iPhone. Can we buy the patent from you? Or can we buy the trademark from you? Or can we license the trademark from you? And Cisco said no. So Steve Jobs came out and said, we're going to name it the iPhone anyway. And did this, and they sued him. They sued Apple, and they won like $80 million or something like that for trademark infringement. But
everyone knows when you say the word iPhone, it's Apple.
Right, exactly. From the moment Steve Jobs said it on stage, iPhone belonged to Apple.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter who came out before, what device you thought the iPhone was. Yeah. And Apple went, fine, they won't license it, we'll just take it.
Which I do wonder, okay, I don't know if they made 80 million or what. Was that the exact number?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm spitballing here.
I would be curious to know what the licensing agreement would have been value versus what they got.
Yeah.
You know, so it could have been a smart move on Cisco, or it was a dumb move because how many versions of the iPhone are there? And they could have been licensing it forever, and you know, who knows? They may have been making a killing on it now.
Well, the iPhone...
Especially if Cisco took that and be like...
iOS devices recently sold over 2 billion devices worldwide in the 11 years they've been out, so...
Especially if Cisco went and started, since they already own the naming rights to it, started naming some of their other products iPhone something something.
Yeah.
And just because of that, people were like, oh, this is Apple and Cisco, they're doing something.
Sorry, 14 nanometer plus. Well done, Rev. All right. Excuse me. And speaking of lawsuits...
Right? Everyone's getting sued.
Just
like they said, if you're not suing, you're not a company.
And unfortunately, that's the news stories of the week, is people getting sued. We'll get into Oculus next, because Oculus announced a couple things that are going to be kind of interesting. But
I have something to say about it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, suing. Let's keep on suing people.
Let's just keep on talking litigation on this Tech and Beer channel. That's what we're all about.
It's better.
All right. So everyone knows about a week ago, Telltale Games shuttered their studios. Same.
This is?
Yeah, this is. Or no, oh no, sorry.
Oh, yeah.
No, sorry.
I don't know where
Wow, how many lawsuits do we have? 3 lawsuits in this one.
Okay,
well, sorry, we're on lawsuit 2.
You're on lawsuit 2.
Wow, we're on lawsuit 2.
I was like, Jeff, you got the wrong article.
Did I really put 3 lawsuits in the notes this week?
That's what I was like, it's a lawsuit day.
Wow.
Everyone.
I apologize. I thought, for some reason, I thought there were only 2.
It was a slow news week.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of tech announced.
We actually have quite a few games.
So NCIX, that's right.
Yes.
Because last week we talked about Newegg and their data breach, where they basically exposed all of their credit card information over the last month. So for the entire month of August and most of September.
And that was a web-based, pay.
That was a malicious code injection and a malicious certificate and a couple of things. Very sneaky and very effective.
Yeah.
But
this is some pretty old school, actually.
This one's old school. This one's dumpster diving.
Yeah. So
NCIX is being sued a year post-mortem. NCIX is named as a defendant, but so is the brokerage company that bought their assets.
Yeah.
That went to auction them off, the auction house. So apparently, NCIX kept all of your credit card information, address information, personally identifiable information, anything you would possibly need to commit credit fraud, in plain text on their servers.
Yeah.
On their in-house servers.
Didn't encrypt anything.
Didn't encrypt anything. So NCIX went bankrupt, handed over everything to an auction house. That auction house set up their servers in their auction for people to get on with a keyboard and mouse and walk around.
Flutter around with and make sure they're good.
Right. And you could put whatever USB keys you wanted into them and take the data off however you wanted. and there was no one checking bags or watching the servers at all. So if you just wanted to like download the contents of the hard drives, you could do that, and some people did. And then they sold the servers. Now here's where it gets interesting.
So my favorite part
is a man named Jeff.
I love that part.
Not me, for the record.
I was like, whoa, they got the picture wrong.
Yeah.
I should have photoshopped you in here. Oh, why didn't I think of that?
Hold on, there we go. Do I have the look? Come on, you be the
Someone,
judge.
quickly.
You be the judge.
That's pretty close. All right, so someone on Patreon.
Sorry, I shaved.
Get that on there.
Yeah. Anyway, a guy named Jeff supposedly posted on Craigslist. Jeff was the guy who contacted the
company.
The company.
Yeah.
So he
found someone on Craigslist.
Right. A man named Jeff who claimed on Craigslist. Oh no, Jeff was the Craigslist seller.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The author, Travis, said he arranged to meet a man named Jeff.
That's what it was, yeah.
Who claimed on Craigslist to be selling old NCIX hardware that he had purchased. From
this auction.
From this auction house, right. During, Travis said Jeff ordered information from offline backup servers on millions of transactions. He claimed to have seen detailed financial information about customers and personal tax details of former NCIX employees. They then opened an investigation into an alleged data breach on Friday as a result of those allegations.
Yeah.
So someone on Craigslist bought those servers, rifled through the data and said, wow, we have credit card numbers, we have home addresses, we have socials, we have tax information for every NCIX employee like ever.
Plus people who went through their server, who was on their servers.
Right. Temp employees, anyone who went through their server for any data at any time.
Anything. Non-encrypted.
Right. On the low end, we're looking 258,000 people. On the high end, we're looking millions, because remember, this was an online sales company.
Yeah.
They had retail locations, but their bread and butter was online.
You ever bought anything from them? Someone could have your information.
Right. Now, depending on how in date that information is, who knows?
If you got a new credit card, whatever, it's your fraud.
Right, and they likely didn't have your social, but they likely had home address, and they had an unencrypted credit card number.
If anything, they have your phone number, so they're going to be calling you constantly.
Right.
They're probably going to be... They probably at least sold your information to
Hi, this is Melissa from Card Services.
Exactly.
There's no problem with your account.
Yep, exactly. They probably have sold just the basic information as data mining to someone.
Absolutely.
At least there's that. But then if there is credit card information, social, or, whatever, you're screwed. But what I do love, I love the fact that it was Craigslist. It was so stupid. It's just on Craigslist, not the black market, not some like private shady,
not the dark web,
not the dark web. It's just Craigslist.
Yeah,
it's a guy named Jeff.
Yep.
On Craigslist.
Yep. I need to capture that for the thumbnail now.
Right. Oh, we don't have.
Including Linus. Linus was an NCIX employee.
What? I did not know that.
Yep.
I don't have that article, the new one.
What?
Yeah, you don't have it up here.
Which article?
The next suing.
That was the Telltale Games. It
Yes.
should be in the games notes further down.
There it is.
Second one, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. John's good.
Okay,
John can't read.
My bad.
John can't read. That's what that is.
My bad.
So yeah, if you've ever bought anything from NCIX ever, take note of what credit card you used, which you won't be able to look up your account information because, someone bought the servers. Protect yourself, people.
Yep.
It's a dangerous world out there.
Oh, again, it's just Craigslist. It's not even a hack. It's not even a virus. It was nothing.
It was just Craigslist.
It was just
some dude dumpster dived down an auction house.
For all we know, and that's the thing too. Like you were saying, it's a USB. Anyone at these auction events could have just popped in a 64 gig thumb drive and download. Hey, you know how much 64 gigs of information of flat text? I mean, more than 283,000 lines of code or lines of information. insane because some of it, oh, I'm speed testing. I want to make sure it can clock this. I want to blah blah blah. You know. So there's a lot.
I have some 700-line PowerShell scripts that are 17K.
Yeah. So it's insane.
Yep.
There's possibly a lot more than what this article is even stating. So
let's get into the very last lawsuit one just to get it out of the way. And then we'll jump into some more fun news.
But, you know, we are getting into some game news.
Yes.
So it's a good transition. We don't even have to come up with a transition here.
Right.
So we're actually going tech lawsuit to gaming all in one.
That's right.
We're so smooth, the articles do it for us.
That's right. So everyone knows that Telltale Games shuttered their doors, I believe, last Thursday. With the exception of 25 employees who are finishing the final...
whatever their contracts are.
Yeah, the final game.
I forget what it was. What is two?
Walking Dead.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The last episode of Walking Dead.
Final season. Walking Dead.
Which, I think, 24, 25 employees they kept on for the last of their contract. Which
basically, employees walked in Thursday morning, and they said, here's your pink slip. And they said, well, how many? Well, all of you. Unless you're working on the Walking Dead final season, then you can stay for the next month while you finish that up. But other than that, bye.
Yeah.
Don't let the door hit you in the butt on the way out. Well, how long do we have insurance? Oh, for another week. And that was it.
We don't have the money to pay you. We're broke.
Right. Now...
a guy named Jeff.
Right.
No, I wish that would
that breaks multiple labor laws.
Multiple labor laws in California.
Yeah, especially because they were California-based. So there's the WARN labor laws, which is the worker...
I think it's like,
Hold on.
It's something that you're guaranteed so many days of
notification. Yeah, you're guaranteed 60 days of notice.
Yeah.
It's the Worker Adjustment and Retraining Notification Act. So basically, if you as a company of more than 100 employees plan a mass layoff, which a mass layoff is 50 employees or more.
Within a given month. It's not even at one time. It's within a given month.
Right. So in the calendar month of September, if we plan more than 50 layoffs, we are required 60 days notice
for those 50 people.
To those employees that they are going to be laid off.
Yeah.
So that gives them time to transition out of their employment and into another position somewhere else. And you're also required to keep their insurance going for 60 days as well.
Yeah.
Basically, these people 250 people walked into a pink slip. 250 is a little bit over the threshold of the 100-person minimum.
50-person minimum.
Right.
Yeah.
They had more than 100 employees.
Oh, whatever.
Yeah, I was going with that metric.
The minimum.
I was going with that metric. So yeah, it's a little bit higher than that metric of the minimum 50 employee layoff.
Yeah.
And to give no notice. Now, federal regulations say there is a clause in there for unforeseeable business circumstances. Now, Telltale apparently failed to secure funding through Lionsgate, reportedly, Lionsgate Software, for another title, and that was their last partner that was possibly willing to deal with them. They had no one else on the hook for anything, any other projects, and so when that fell through, they went, well, we have to shut down. We
got nothing.
We can't keep this going at this point. So that could be an unforeseen circumstance. The state of California has their own regulations. The state of California, if you have more than 75 employees and plan on laying 50 of them off, then you're required 60 days notice and required to keep insurance going for 60 days. But the state of California has no such clause for unforeseeable business circumstances. If you reach a situation that causes you to shutter your doors, you still have to give 60 days notice and pay out for 60 days.
Yeah, sorry, you got to be open for at least another 60 days.
Right. So
credit card, whatever you do,
they may be in the clear federally. They are not in the clear by California regulations.
No.
So Telltale employees filing a class action lawsuit against Telltale.
Yeah.
Um,
Man, I really like Telltale.
I did.
I really did. I even early stuff. I really liked the idea, especially the episode ideas, how they came out with games. I thought the quality of the games were very nice.
Yep.
It sinks that they're closing down. I really enjoyed a lot of their work.
Yep.
I was really even happy when they brought back Monkey Island. I was like, yes, one of my favorite titles. The
Yes.
Walking Dead, even too. I didn't play past the first season.
Yeah, I played the first season
and I really liked the first season. I thought it was very nice.
They also did a Minecraft Stories game, which was actually kind of interesting.
Really, I did.
Yeah.
No, but I did like the aspect that they took of here's an episode length of a game, and I liked that. It's cheap. It was usually like $9.99, $10.
Yep.
And you got to play 10 hours basically.
Right.
About 10 hours worth of gameplay. But it was nice because then you got to play this really long story, eventually over the time.
Yep.
I liked it. It sucks that they're gone. I really miss that. But it really is a really crappy way to do something to employees. I mean, even if they couldn't get this contract, they obviously foresaw that if we don't get this, we're screwed.
Correct.
Maybe at that time they should have started telling people, hey, if we don't get this contract...
Right, because you don't have to fire him if you give him
No.
60 days notice. You could say, hey, we're down to one bidder left, and if they don't secure a contract, we're not going to be able to pay you.
You might want to look for work. Just saying that, I'm betting they could have gotten away with the suit there.
Absolutely.
Saying,
Absolutely.
we're warning you.
Right.
That's a warning. You're still hired, but we're warning you.
Yeah, and they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They walked into sorry, your key doesn't work anymore.
Yep. Don't come back. Here's your stuff. Here's a box. Clean out.
Yep. So, yeah. If you're a Telltale employee, life sucks, but at least you're going to get 60 days worth of pay.
There you go. So, good vacation. Well, that's if they even have the money.
Right.
That's the thing. How long is that suit going to take? How long is the money?
Well, Telltale, I guarantee, has insurance of some kind, which will cover things like that. So.
Well,
all right.
something a little more lighthearted.
A little lighthearted. Yeah,
Little
let's get out of the lawsuit.
Lawsuited out. I mean,
Good Lord.
millions and millions of dollars of people being sued. I think I'm gonna sue Craft Computing because Hops and Brews is being too utilized in this series.
Someone paid for your trip to Seattle.
I think I paid for my own gas though.
Yeah, it's because you drove yourself. There was a taxi that left at 4 a.m.
Okay, when you tell me that, the stupid Uber sits there and drives. You know how much an Uber costs to get to Seattle? It's expensive.
Yeah.
It's very expensive.
Not my fault you drive a Volvo and didn't trust it for the trip. All right. So, Oculus had Oculus Connect 5 today and announced some new hardware. And we have differing opinions. We have differing opinions, so this should be interesting because I haven't heard his yet, but I know it's negative, and he hasn't heard mine yet, and he knows it's positive. So, let's kind of go over this, shall we?
All right, let's go over this.
So, the Oculus introduced the Oculus Quest, which is a standalone 6 degree of freedom with hand tracking, inside-out tracking, mobile headset.
I like this. The concept, I think, is great.
Right.
Great concept. Great concept.
Now, for those wondering, this is what Oculus Santa Cruz was. Santa Cruz was the development title for it. This is the retail product, is Oculus Quest. So it is a standalone headset that you put on your head. It runs its own software, its own graphics card, its own everything else. And you have hand controllers that sync to it wirelessly. You have no cables anywhere at all.
Nope.
And
you have 2 tiny speakers in the earbands.
Yep.
That are really
Let's
crappy.
not get into it yet. Let's not get into that yet,
Okay,
John.
okay.
I'm giving raw specs first.
Okay.
We'll leave the editorial for just a couple of seconds. It's okay. Hold on.
This copper lager at 6.2% is getting to me, Jeff.
Is it?
It's getting to me. It's getting my inner redneck out.
I know you can't handle your big beers.
That's right. I'm drunk all the time on this show, Jeff. I'm the drunk one.
He's always drunk.
I'm always drunk.
Shows up drunk. So it is basically a PC-less, 100% room scale and beyond room scale capable headset where you could play in warehouse scale. on this device.
You can get big, you can get small. It is designed to be in your living room. It's designed to be anywhere. It's essentially just a 3-piece VR set, two joysticks, and the set.
Yep.
And that's it. You can play it anywhere. It was designed, I believe, to be the introduction to VR. Better than the Samsung. What is that?
Your brother lying.
Oh gosh.
Sorry.
So it is designed to be an introduction to VR, more so than the Samsung's phones and crap like that. Good VR. It is supposed to be transaction or your first step into that, your first introduction into that. Right away, my biggest downfall is when they say that, and then they said the price point. $399.
See, I think $399 is actually not a bad price point for what you're getting.
How much is, and you did a video on this, Jeff, was the Microsoft set?
Well, the Microsoft headset by itself with inside-out tracking, the retail cost is $399. Their retail cost is $399.
Okay.
Now you can get them on sale often for $200.
Yeah.
For the full set.
For often on sale, very often.
But keep in mind that's only the headset, not the internal computer.
That is not
that runs.
That is
the VR.
that is true. That is true. But so I took that point into consideration. But then I thought, okay, what are major games? What are the most popular games that you hear? Like, I need to play that VR game because that VR game is so good. I need to have a VR set.
So Robo Recall is one of the most popular games on Steam, on Oculus Home. It's an incredible first-person shooter arcade-style game.
Yes.
Robo Recall coming to the Oculus Quest.
I get that.
The full game.
It is. Oh yeah. I saw that. There were few though.
Yes.
But to me, I was like, I want to play Super Hot. Is that going to be on here?
It may be.
Maybe. Wasn't announced. So because of that, I'm thinking it's probably not.
Right.
Because it wasn't out. So maybe in the future, maybe they come out with a Quest Plus.
Yeah.
Who knows? But for right now, it's probably not going to. Is Gorn going to come out for this?
Oh, I guarantee not.
Exactly. So there are these major, I wouldn't say AAA titles, but AAA titles for a VR set.
And you're right. Software is one of the major hindrances to VR growth right now.
I want to play a racing game on this. I'm not going to be able to, other than the one that they purposely built for this. But I want to say Project Cars. I'm not going to be able to play that on this.
Right.
Now this might get that enthusiast. I want to test VR, but the person that already in my head defense was, I want to test VR. He probably already has a computer. He probably already has a $600-700 computer, possibly a graphics card that can do something good enough to do the Microsoft headset.
Yep.
And so I would say between the video that you did, I think we saw at least 3 times that the headset was on sale for $199, $200.
Yeah, multiple times it's come up.
Multiple times. So that's already $100 cheaper. So you can spend $100 possibly even upgrading your own system to a better graphics card, more RAM, a hard drive, or even games. That's where this lost me.
Yeah.
And then also the space. 64 gigs. We have phones now that are higher.
It's $399 for a 64 gig model. I don't believe they mentioned any higher capacity models in there.
And those are my, again, love the concept, love the idea. I even thought, like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then they started explaining the videos, and in the back of my head, like, no, I'm going to want something different.
Yep.
I'm going to want something different. So
now,
that was my
Now, because I have a PC, yes, I want something different. I want something bigger, better, badder.
Yeah.
Still, one of the main limitations I have, though, is the cable coming out of the headsets. It's one of the biggest.
Every time I played yours. Yep. I turn around.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm always like that. Yes.
I'm either hanging myself or I'm tripping over something.
Yep.
It's one of the two.
I get it. Yeah.
So making true wireless VR accessible in a package that someone can go out, spend $400 and start playing games is pretty cool. And they demoed a game at warehouse scale that was a multiplayer first-person shooter.
That's cool. I did not see the demo or the presentation on this. I just read specs and the simple videos that are on this article. Yeah, that's all I personally read.
I don't think I posted that.
Yeah, and so Jeff has a little more research.
Yeah, but they showed a demo of like 12 people wearing these headsets in an environment with just like cardboard boxes stacked up as obstacles, where they're basically playing laser tag, paintball kind of style thing.
That sounds
but
fun.
in virtual reality.
That sounds pretty fun.
Right, and so for like a VR arcade setup, something like this would be absolutely incredible to set up a virtual warehouse where you can move obstacles in and around the world, and change up your floor plan, and let people run around and shoot each other.
Run around and shoot each other. Right. Yeah, play tag or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. No. I mean that sounds pretty fun. But then you're having to develop that game for that device. It is not.
Correct.
It is not a mass production device. Mm-hmm. So a third party indie place. I don't know how much they're going to invest in that.
Well, think of the infrastructure required to run 12 VR headsets in the current production, and then think of the wireless infrastructure you need for headset transmission.
Then you're going to need the packs or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I get that. And that's if the VR arcades succeed now. Mm-hmm. You're banking on that. I think maybe not. 10 years, yes. I think 10 years, we'll see so much better technology. I think this is a great step in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I think the price point is way too high. There was just too many hurdles for me that just didn't make. There's going to be too many third party. There seems to be a couple.
I disagree.
Decent games.
I disagree that it's too high because in the era that we're spending $1,000 on a smartphone, $400 for a standalone VR with similar horsepower.
We are, but we're not because most of our cell phones.
Right.
Most people, when they sell their cell phones or get a new cell phone, it's put into a plan and it's put into almost a lease option.
Right.
So where this is a one price only.
Totally.
How many places are you going to sit there and say, "I'll lease you a VR headset"?
Totally. But how many people do spend $400 on luxury items? There's a good number of people.
But then this is a something that only has very limited games that's untested and is the same price as a possible.
People buy PlayStation 4s at launch for $500
because they have a track record, because there's a history of a company.
Right.
This is a brand new thing. It's like Nvidia saying, "Hey, we were really great at graphics cards. Here's our digital Game Boy version gameplay thing.
Here's our shield.
Exactly. Here's this." In theory, this should work. We're a graphics card company. We have contracts with all these gaming companies. This should work. It's the same price point.
Do you know what the downfall of the Shield was? Software. They didn't have the software to back it.
There's a few but there's very few. There's not the big, I have to play it titles.
Right.
The coolest titles. The ones that when you run a VR
Well, there's at least one coming out.
There's at least one, exactly. But there's usually always at least one or two because they have to get a contract. They probably gave it for free. The one that you pulled up, I was excited about.
Go ahead and pull it up.
I was excited about this. I thought this was cool. And the fact that they got this contract was pretty cool.
Yep. Sorry, $5 donation. Regan, what if your phone could just do VR but have your PC render? That's been tried before. The problem is latency going to the cell phone. The problem is Wi-Fi on the cell phone isn't
Bluetooth
there.
Or whatever. Whatever your connection is, your speed's not there.
Right, the speed is not there. The throughput and the bandwidth is not there to the device. To get Wi-Fi or to get wireless connection to a headset and have tracking and graphics and two-way communication work, it requires a 60 gigahertz WiGig connection, which is a point-to-point wireless connection. That's what the HTC Vive wireless device is using. It takes that level of hardware to do it, and that level of hardware costs $300 on its own. Yep. You're not going to spend $1,200 on a cell phone to get WiGig so you can do VR when you can buy a headset for $200.
$300.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
So-
So they have some really cool titles that are coming, like this one, Star Wars Vader Immortal.
Yep.
Episode 1, which it doesn't seem to be more of a game, but more of a series.
More of an experience.
Yes.
Now, a lot of the ILM games, there's been 2 so far. There's been the Star Wars experience, which was a training simulation where you were dropped onto Tatooine.
It was cool.
And you did a couple things with R2, and the Millennium Falcon flies overhead. And then
some stormtroopers came and you had to shoot them.
And you pull out your lightsaber and you
reflect
bolts at the stormtroopers. And then the Falcon flies off. It's a 5-minute demo, and it's fantastic to play through. But that's the kind of stuff that ILM has done before. They also did the Droid Repair Laboratory.
That was horrible.
I thought it was cute. If you're a kid and you want to play around with BB-8 and R2-D2, it's a great experience. This one is promising to be a little bit more episodic.
Yeah. And more adult, too.
Yeah.
But it has storyline. It's supposed to be dark.
Yeah.
Darker.
Yes.
You're supposed to be freaked out. They're taught... Okay, so this should get back to...
They're talking about Darth Vader breathing down the back of your neck.
See, and that got back to my point of when I read that. It's like, okay, in one of the big points they stated for the Oculus, it was built-in headphones into the straps. And they point out these tiny little headphones into these straps. I was like, how is that supposed to be surround sound engulfing technology?
Yeah.
And I didn't see any headphone jack capability to pop in your own headphones to go over the strap or anything like that. So I don't see how I'm going to be feeling Darth Vader behind me or to the right or left of me.
I have to say, have you tried the HTC Vive with the Pro Audio strap, the built-in Vive speakers?
No, I have not tried.
They're actually pretty darn decent.
But how big are they?
They're bulky, but they're not huge.
They're not. But okay, but again, I'm just going off of this. From what I saw and did a little research, it's just a little strip. It's not an earbud thing. It's a little strip that's built into the band of the headset.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be built in right here. Okay. That's your speaker line.
Okay.
And so it's really tiny.
Yeah.
There we go.
This is just the Whoa trailer.
Oh, is it? Okay, I think it was the next one that did it.
One of those was.
One of those. Wireless, blah, blah, blah. You can do that. I don't know. But at one point, they basically stated that the speaker is just in the headband.
Yep.
And so you have this basically tiny little headphone, and it's supposed to be, I would assume 7.1 surround sound, but it's obviously not.
It's probably stereo.
It's probably
left right.
And so I don't know how it's supposed to feel.
Left right done. I mean, that's what we have right now is left right sound. But done when you're turning your head, you can track very easily. The problem with stereo on a computer environment is you're not turning. You have to move your mouse around to pinpoint sound, and you don't do that naturally. Whereas if someone's talking in my right ear and I turn, all of a sudden I've pinpointed them with my head, and the sound will change in my
So
headphones.
then I am very curious, is the directional sound. How well does that work? So if someone is to my right of me and I do turn right, how well does those speakers then center? Or is it still to my right?
No, it does very well.
Are you sure?
The current VR market does fantastic.
And again, this is current. This is new. I'm curious. Right. And I'm curious what Facebook did to all this, because Facebook owns Oculus.
Right, they own Oculus, but that's Facebook money pouring into Oculus. So there's a reason the Oculus Rift is $299 right now.
So I am skeptical. Is all it is. Is I think if this was a $199 price point, I think it would have been fine. That $299 threw me over.
See, I think $399 is still even a decent barrier of entry because I mean that's where the Windows mixed reality headsets come in, and you need all the infrastructure behind that too. And so,
but then you can play any title you want.
You can't play any title you want on Windows Mixed.
You can play most titles.
You can play a good number of titles. You can play
a good number of titles.
And there are some limitations with the Windows Mixed Reality headset, but
when this was what we didn't ever talk about the degrees. I don't even remember what the. Do you remember what the degrees of?
Oh, the field of view.
Field of view was. I don't.
I know it was a 1600 by 1440
per
per
eye.
eye.
Yeah.
So a pretty decent resolution per eye.
And I'm not seeing.
Yeah. I don't recall what the field of view was.
No,
I don't know if it was talked about.
No, I don't think it was.
Again,
kind of a.
Yep.
I'm not saying it's a bad. Just from the information I got, I'm more skeptical than not. The only game that did intrigue me was the Star Wars one. The other one that they did say, if you want to hit on really quick, was the the machines.
Vox Machina.
Machina, sorry.
Yeah.
Machina, which is just your standard, God, what are those called? Not Titans. Mech Warrior, shooter style.
Titans. This is an EA.
What anime guy, whatever. Mech Warrior style, which I like. It's pretty fun. Actually, honestly, I've never played one in VR, so I think it would be pretty fun to play in VR.
I think so too. And this is definitely leaning more towards a simulator rather than an arcade. This is, you're sitting in a mech and you have to physically move things within it using your controllers. You probably have to,
like, oh no, your arm's broken. I bet you probably have to turn a knob here to turn gas off.
They were showing pull cords. Yeah. They were showing like eject handles. They were showing dual joysticks and turrets. And
so, cool. Love the concept. It sounds like,
and that's available today.
Yeah, but you can also get this for other VR systems.
Yes,
and that's like I don't know. I think the people that have this,
if I don't have a $500 to $600 computer, and I'm not going to spend that kind of money on a computer, but I want a mobile virtual reality headset and I want to play some games that are available, I think $399 is a good point of entry.
But if you're a VR and you want to get into it, I think you probably already have the money because you probably already have a computer. I'm betting there are more people that probably already have a computer that's VR compatible.
See, and I think it's opposite. I think they're aiming for more the game console market rather than the PC enthusiast market with this.
So you think they're trying to beat out like the PlayStation VR?
Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're aiming for. They're aiming for mainstream, not enthusiast. And at $399 all in, that's all you need to start.
Yeah, plus games. But
right, whereas I showed, the baseline of entry is about $850 on the PC side of things. But even that is unattainable to a lot of people. $400 puts it in the realm of possibility, and it's $400 all in. That's everything you need to go.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that was $850 if you got a headset for $200.
Yeah, well, again, but we talked about though that that particular headset is on sale almost every other month.
Right.
And the holiday season, Black Friday season is coming up. I'm sure there will be headsets available nonstop, and we're not even talking a used market either.
Right. Brand new from the Windows Store. If you wanted a Lenovo headset and only the headset, not the controllers, you could buy one for $99 last week.
Yeah. So, I think if you have a PC, buy the Microsoft.
Field of view same as the Oculus Go, 95 degrees. So slightly smaller than the very similar to the Windows Mixed Reality headsets,
so, which I believe is 100.
It's 100, right?
Yeah.
And then the HTC Vive and Oculus Rift are right around 110.
So but that means though, if you're playing a game like Gorn or something, you can't do this.
Right.
You're gone. So with the Mech
depends on how they do their tracking. I'm curious to see where they implement their tracking for the hands.
Yeah.
Now for the Windows Mixed Reality, I did note in my review that I had a hard time playing Gorn and some other games like that where it required me to have movements outside of my visual area. So if I was playing Gorn and I wanted to reach up above my head and bring something down and hit someone, it lost tracking right about here. And so when I brought my hand down, it would reestablish here, but then I wouldn't actually be swinging. It would just snap my hand here, and then I'm
so it wouldn't track the swing.
Right, it wouldn't track the swing, and it wouldn't track the game accurately, so the game was unplayable.
I'm curious then about the Mech Warrior, because I'm sure it was designed or helpfully designed for this. But if there is something behind you, like the knobs, the valves,
right?
But I'm betting they're probably all in front of you.
Yeah, I'm betting it's designed to be here
within the 90 degrees. Although it could be a pretty good video if you can get your hands on one.
Yeah,
that'd be a pretty fun video to compare the two.
I am gonna try to get my hands on
a price point.
It'll be out in the spring.
You do have this pretty sweet studio now for some VR room.
I do indeed.
Yes. So
I've actually played VR the last couple nights because I haven't been able to for months.
Join Jeff's Patreon to watch him live stream him playing VR pointlessly as we mock him from behind the scenes.
I'm not going to show you what's on the screen. I'm just going to
It's just Jeff moving around,
walking around the room going.
But Jeff's Patreon is only $1, so join it. We have a great community.
That's right. All right. So you have a Nintendo Switch.
I have a Nintendo Switch. I've always been a big...
I have a Nintendo Switch.
I've been a big fan of Nintendo and Nintendo Switches. I've had a lot of the handheld devices, not as many as you've had.
Yep.
I've had the standard, the very original Game Boy with the backlit, the original Game Boy with the backlit, Game Boy Color, the DS. They came out like a mini DS.
Yeah, DS Lite.
DS Lite. I never got into the 3D one. I think that the DS Lite was the last one I got.
Okay. So yeah,
and then I went into the Wii U.
Yes.
And the
See, I never got the Wii U, but I did finally buy a Switch. Now I had the original Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Pocket. I had a Game Boy Color. I had a Game Boy.
That's what
I had a Game Boy Advanced. The original Arctic White one. They had it in like blue, orange, and white and black or something like that. I had it in the white. I had a Game Boy Advance SP, and in fact, I had one of the special edition NES controller skinned ones. That was kind of cool. I sold that stupidly years later, and then refound an SP-101, which is the LED backlit, or the backlit version instead of the edge-lit version of the SP.
Oh, okay.
And I still have that one. I had an original DS. I had a DS Lite. I had a 3DS. I had a 3DS XL, and I have a 3DS, a new 3DS XL.
Yeah. Now, if you haven't figured this out already,
And a Switch.
We are talking a lot of Nintendo handheld games. Now, Nintendo has come up with a lot of handheld games.
So
a lot of handheld, not games, but devices. A lot of devices. Sega 2, I think they came up with.
Well, there was the Nomad and the Game Gear.
Yeah. So 2.
Yeah.
And then Sega just went kaputs. And PlayStation, they came out with the PSP.
Yeah. They had the PSP, and the 1000, 2000, 3000 models.
Yeah, because there's a couple different models
right.
of it. The Vita.
The PSP Go. And then there's also the Vita and the
Vita. Wasn't there like a Vita Go or something? Or
not a Vita Go.
Yeah, a smaller version.
There's a second gen Vita.
Yeah.
Now.
So PlayStation basically gave up on the market.
Yes.
They are saying now that they are no longer going to be producing the Vita anymore. Whatever the latest version is.
Yep.
They will manufacture a few more through 2019 in Japan only. Mm-hmm. Ship them out wherever throughout there, and then after that, they are going to be done. Mm-hmm. And they have no further plans.
They are exiting the handheld market.
They are exiting the handheld market. They are focusing on the console wars, making Nintendo king of handheld devices.
Yep.
Or handheld video game devices.
The only game in town, is it?
You had that early, didn't you?
I had that pocketed. Come at me.
Yeah. So PlayStation, they said they came out. There's basically an article stating that they have no plans to do this. They're going to stay in the market, and I think they're personally, I think it's actually probably because of the Switch. Mm-hmm. I think it's because Nintendo realized they can't compete with or they don't want to compete with the Xbox and the Sony,
right? The
high-end stuff,
right?
So they're like, well, they were king of handhelds no matter what.
And they've been king.
They've been king, which is very surprising to me because I always loved the concept that PlayStation brought of high-end graphics, good stuff, but it was always too pricey for me. Just too pricey.
It was always too pricey, and again, the same Achilles heel of a lot of industries is the software was never there.
Yep.
They didn't have any compelling experiences that were on the Vita that were better than anything else I could have on any other platform.
Yeah.
They had a couple racing games. They brought Gran Turismo there. There was a Madden game for the PSP.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of things. It's like, yeah, okay, I can play that.
That's cool.
But I can play that on every other device. So why would I play it on PSP?
Yeah, and their big thing was like, well, it's a multimedia device now. You can do MP3s. You can play movies on there. I think they had like MKV, AVI, MOV format. You know, you could do that, and it was a lot of people hacked them too all the time.
Right.
So that was actually more of the big turnaround for a lot of people, was just to hack your PSP.
I bought a PSP specifically so I could hack it.
Yeah. So, because, you could just put whatever. It then became just a media device.
Yep.
To where Nintendo, semi-hackable, you could get away with some things, but you never turned it into a media device because the graphics were never there.
Right. The screen quality wasn't
The screen quality was never there, and I almost wonder if Nintendo thought of that and said, look, we don't care if you play our classic games. Hack it all you want to play our old games and some new games, but you can't do anything else with this.
Right.
You have to play our games. I don't know. Maybe not.
Who knows?
Who knows? But at the same time too, I think did Nintendo have the contract too with Pokemon?
Oh yeah, no. Nintendo owns Pokemon.
Yeah. So
that's an in-house thing.
That's an in-house thing. So that basically sold half of the mobile devices within there.
And again, it comes back to software. What software did Sony have that was compelling on the handheld?
Oh, nothing.
It wasn't there.
They basically sat there and said, hey, we have the same game for our handheld device or the console.
Right.
But you have to buy it. And they were the same price.
Uh-huh.
They were like $70, $80 a piece, or Game Boys were still $20 to $40 range.
Yep.
You know, pretty reasonably priced.
Yeah, it's only this generation that Nintendo has gone to $60 for games on the Switch.
But then that's the Switch. It is a mobile device, but it's a large. It's also your console,
right?
And I think that's where they took the PlayStation Vita and PSP concept of like, hey, and mobile tablet device combined all of them. Say, hey, let's make a powerful tablet and make it our console and mobile device. But then keep our mobile devices semi-retro. So now we have two other fields.
Right.
And we have this new market we've created. And we're completely killed our other market. Or our other competitors' market. I don't know if that was it. That's an ingenious idea. And PlayStation has just decided to bow out and praise Nintendo and hail to the king. At least Nintendo's winning at one thing in the console wars. But I do think Nintendo is actually making headway with the Switch for independent developers. Because when we were at PAX, how many games did we see?
A lot.
Coming out for Switch. Coming out, or we're going to have a Switch compatibility. Is this going to be for any other console? No, it's PC or Switch only.
Yeah. There were a lot of PC/Switch exclusives.
Yeah, and that's amazing, I think. Because it's sounding like the Switch is going to be more... Ooh, that looks good. Hey, Jeff didn't short pour me for once. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. The Switch is actually, I think...
I think you got the lion's share there.
No, I think we're good.
Once the head comes down.
Yeah. I think
it'll be close. Yeah. So this is a Block 15, Corvallis, Oregon. This is a Belgian-style double ale. It's called Reflections.
Oh, it smells good.
It does smell good.
It smells very good.
It is bottle conditioned, and it is a 7%, so it's not overly heavy.
It's a very deep amber color.
Yes.
I mean, I had to put light to it to see through it.
Yeah.
But
and even with studio lights, it's a little difficult to see through.
It has a kind of almost a spicy aroma. Spicy and malty aroma.
Yep.
But yeah, so... Ooh, that's good. I like that. Ooh, I like that.
Yes.
That's a good beer. See, I mean being crap, but then I bring that one that's like, ooh, that's good.
Don't think that's going to make up for that. Don't think that for a second.
I have plenty of beers that can make up for that at home.
Yeah, but you didn't bring them.
I didn't, because I have to save them for that emergency.
For your 164 subscribers?
Yes. Hey, as soon as I hit that 200, oh yeah!
Party's on, baby!
That 20% beer I bought, woohoo, is going to be a video.
Yes.
Everyone's invited. If you can get a ticket to Oregon, come on down. I'll pour you a glass.
A full glass, or
no,
like that much head and this much beer?
Whatever I got. Hey, I have to drink most of it.
That's right.
It's my beer.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yep.
PlayStation and the console gaming news, it's growing. So.
Yep. So PlayStation has said, no, we're not going to offer cross compatibility with any other platform. Screw you guys. You bought a PlayStation. You're here to see us.
Yeah,
was basically their standpoint.
That's been their motto for a long time. It's like your PlayStation all the way.
Well, remember, no one had cross compatibility until all of a sudden Microsoft. One of the few good things they've done for gaming recently is outside of DirectX 12 is
there's 11
right. Is they said, you know what, we want to have Unity on our platform, so let's bring Windows 10 essentially to the Xbox.
Yeah.
The core of the Xbox runs on Windows 10. Ease software development a little bit on that side of things. And then if you bought a game for the Xbox, you can play it on the PC. And if you bought a game on the PC or the Xbox, you can play it both ways. But
if it was compatible.
But you can also play between those two platforms. You don't have to only play against Xbox people or only play against PC people.
Which has been a huge complaint with a lot of people, like keyboard, mouse versus controller. Right. I know a lot of people are.
Well, that's the other thing. Razer's coming out with a keyboard for the Xbox One.
Yeah, no.
With a keyboard mouse combo that you can plug into the Xbox One and use natively.
Sweet. Oh, man. Honestly, any Xbox user, I will bet if that becomes a thing, how many competitions will you start seeing people doing that? Because I'm sorry, console people, keyboard and mouse.
It is so funny to see people who are like, oh yeah, I play Call of Duty like competitively. Oh, what do you play on? I play on the Xbox. Okay,
you suck.
That's cute.
Yeah.
And then they go, no, I could be any PC player ever. And so it's like, okay, well here's your controller and here's a PC player. He's a novice. Go easy on him. And the PC player just whoops the living hell out of him.
He just got a little pistol too. Yeah. He's like, how are you switching back between so many things?
Headshot.
It's just
Headshot.
It's easy. How are you controlling your stick? Oh, I can control the sensitivity on my mouse. Check this out. While I'm doing it on the fly. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing a sniper shot? Okay, I need my mouse to be steady right now.
Yep.
I can do that.
Yep.
So, macro keys. What are those?
Yep. So it's always funny to see those realizations set in that this is the more accurate tool. Sorry.
Yes.
But anyway, PlayStation denied. We're not going to bring crossplay to any fine. We'll bring it for Fortnite.
Well, that's what I said. So we have a little Google Docs that we put notes on here, and so I brought this article up, and I said, PlayStation announces cross-platform. Guess what game?
Yep. Also on the notes.
Oh, this was the.
So we list the beer that we're going to drink that week, and usually I'll bring one, and the co-host will bring one, or we'll just kind of collaborate what we want. This week, John wrote down that he was going to bring the Budweiser Reserve Copper Lager, and he said 12 ounces each. So I said, "Damn it, John," and he said, "It's not horrible." So I said, that's not a ringing endorsement. He said, I could always bring a pumpkin beer. And I said, I'll drink the Bud. I don't like many pumpkin things. He said, it's bourbon barrel. He said, it's a bourbon barrel aged pumpkin.
It's pumpkin?
Yeah.
Come on.
No.
We're bantering even in our notes.
Yeah. It never stops.
It
never ever stops.
But yeah, out of everything, it is Fortnite that gets PlayStation to finally do it.
Yep.
Honestly, actually, I'm not a big fan of these large
Fortnite.
Fortnite and Fortnite and what's the other one?
There's PUBG.
Yeah.
There's Overwatch. All the battle royale.
Yeah, all the battle royale.
Well, I guess Overwatch isn't battle royale.
No, it's I actually got no problem with Overwatch, but the big
Yeah.
battle royales, that they were this revolutionary, no one's ever thought of it before. No, you're just a big multiplayer with you die, you die.
I played 64-player multiplayer
Yeah.
matches, deathmatch style.
Deathmatch style. This isn't
way earlier than this.
This isn't anything new. Half-Life 2 had this.
Like 20 years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember playing Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight on a 32-player server where it was Battle Royale style. You spawn with a lightsaber and you go find a weapon.
Yeah, that was it. So this isn't anything new. I don't know why people think this is the end-all, the best-all first-person shooters.
Oh, by the way, that was 22 years ago.
That's all this is. These are just first-person shooters.
Yeah.
That's why I always have a problem with this. It's just like, oh, man, there are so many better first-person shooters out there. But I do love the fact that PlayStation... So, the PlayStation is going to be multi-cross-platform with Microsoft, with the Nintendo Switch, and with PC. So
And with Mac and Linux. Can't forget them.
Oh, are they?
And with Mac and Linux.
Oh, Mac and Linux. Okay, so there we go.
Everyone.
So everyone can now play Fortnite together and get dominated by a PC user.
Remember me, I do.
Actually, you know what? I did really like the fact that the Nintendo Switch is getting this.
Yes.
I really like that. I thought that was a very smart move on the Switch's end.
Sorry, it's Imagine Me and You. Not
Imagine Me and You. Was that part of the commercial?
I do. Think about your day and night.
So,
it's only right.
but I really hope this opens the door.
Happy together. Sorry.
Yeah. I really hope this opens the door for more cross-platform games because
Yes.
I hope this helps for developers.
Now, Sony did say they're taking this beta test as an opportunity. Now, this is a beta test, but they're looking at the possibility of bringing this to other games very specifically. They're not saying they're going to open the doors like Microsoft or Nintendo has.
Yeah.
But they're looking at expanding this to other games in the future with the right concessions made, with the right adaptations or whatever they need to make on their own end. Steven, $10. Cheers. Cheers, Steven.
Cheers, Steven.
So it's more open-minded than they've been, but it's not like, we'll do crossplay now. It's like we still want control over what we're doing.
Yeah, but it's just basically, I think this just acknowledges how big Fortnite has gotten.
Oh, absolutely.
And the whole open world platform, first-person shooter, battle royale has gotten recently. I wouldn't be... Well, isn't Fortnite now on your mobile device? So I don't know if that part is cross-platformed. But...
Hold on, John. We're getting called out. You're reducing the game mode a bit. I mean, it's still a shooter, of course, but the mode and the rules change the gameplay loop significantly. Yes, they do, but...
The essence is still there.
It's a 64 1v all.
Yeah.
It's nothing that hasn't been done before with different mechanics. Like I said, I played the original Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight, which is a Star Wars first-person shooter.
Yeah.
Where you were dropped on a map and...
Well, there was a...
with no respawn.
With no respawn, but I think there was even Unreal Tournament.
This came before Unreal.
Well, yeah, I get that, but this was...
Unreal Tournament was
Unreal Tournament had... I think they even had like a 24 per team, and then there were particular modes of no respawn. You die,
Yep.
you know. Deathmatch, essentially. That was the thing is, though other first-person shooters have different modes, this has one.
We sung that song from the balconies of the condos we built to down to the girls on the beach.
And yet they walked away, and you wonder
right.
why. Now, Jeff and I were there. They'd be like, "Oh my God, the guys from Craft Computing! Oh my God,
you're a YouTuber!
They drink beer!" And they were like, "Oh, you're 16."
Yep. Duke Nukem multiplayer over IPX.
Yes.
I did. Let's see. I did Duke Nukem multiplayer over IPX
all the time. Me and Steve.
I did StarCraft over IPX
did that.
connections. I did Warcraft over dial-up.
I did that too.
Yep. trying to remember if I went any further back than that. I know Warcraft was one of my earliest, and that was peer-to-peer dial-up. That was, okay, I'm going to call you. Make sure your mom doesn't answer the phone.
Yep.
Okay, let's play the game. Click. Hang up!
Yep. I guess because Steve moved out about that time, and so he still lived in Woodburn, and so we would play.
Yeah.
By doing that, so it was fun.
Yep.
Still the dial-up, but yeah, there's just nothing new about this. It's a cartoony version. It's not Half-Life. Oh God, what was I thinking? Fallout. Not Fallout. Half-Life 2. What's the stupid one? The cartoony one everyone plays.
The cartoony one.
I don't remember. Anyways, it's fine. Don't worry about it. There's a first-person shooter.
You lost me.
Yeah, it just looks similar to this. Similar graphics. It has the big giant guy. Team Fortress 2.
Oh,
Team Fortress 2 has a Team Fortress 2 kind of more 4K or 1080p look. Unreal Engine look to it.
There's parallels there.
Obviously you can look in the characters. There's a smirk to them. There's a comical character-esque to these players.
They are caricatures.
Caricatures.
Right.
To where the games that we're talking about were a bit more serious people. You were just basically playing a bot.
Right.
In armor.
Yep. So, Sony opening their doors to crossplay.
I think it'd be cool. You know what I'd love to see though is a full cross-platform tournament.
Yes.
Single game, full cross-platform, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo,
to see 99 PC gamers and one Xbox finalist.
Right? Wouldn't that be interesting? And that Xbox are using the keyboard.
Yes. He's the one guy with the Razer.
Yeah, he's the one guy who's sponsored by Razer. Yeah.
That's right.
But actually, a lot of really cool first-person shooters I used to play a lot of time was the really cool classics. We had Doom. Someone mentioned Duke Nukem.
Mm-hmm. You had Wolf 3D, the original.
Wolf 3D, Quake. Mm-hmm. Quake was a big one. I used to play a lot. Doom 2. Doom 2 wasn't as good as the original, I don't think. No. Wasn't as classic, still fun. Mm-hmm. Still very fun. Did I get the right? I got the right.
Yeah, you're up.
Okay. Yours is different than mine.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
That's interesting. It is.
It is different.
How did we... It's the same article.
Weird. Who did this?
Oh, I think the thumbnail for the video is different.
Okay, whatever.
There it is.
All right, I just had to refresh. All right.
So speaking of Battle Royale and games gone by, Doom 2. Yes, that Doom 2, not the new Doom 2.
Not the new Doom 2, because I thought it was the new Doom 2.
Not Doom Eternal. Doom 2 from 1994 has a Battle Royale mode now.
Just like Fortnite.
Thanks to mods. And you have to play it within... what was the engine they were using? Xandrom.
Xandrom, Zodium, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Xandrom.
Xandronum. Yeah, that's what it was.
Xandronum. Thank you. Inside the Xandronum, which is a port of the original Doom engine to modern OS, designed to accommodate mods and modern hardware. But you can have a 64-player Doom 2 Battle Royale networked game now. And the mod is officially called Doom Royale with Cheese. Which I think is the perfect name.
Best name
for a game that came out in 1994. There could not be a better name for it.
Doom Royale with Cheese.
Royale with Cheese.
Royale with Cheese.
Because of the metric system.
Oh, man. I wonder what they say this in Europe then. All right. So this is the quarter pounder, right? So this is the Doom quarter pounder.
Doom quarter pounder.
Yeah.
Rocking it up with the BFG.
Yes. Awesome. You know what I missed? The automatic, overdone walking.
Yeah.
Like I'm over breathing. Ka-kunk, 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 ka-kunk.
The over exaggerated hand movement.
Yes. And it's always shooting perfectly straight no matter where you're at.
Yeah. Or not shooting perfectly straight and it's doing pew, pew, pew,
yeah.
pew, 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 pew. He's right there. Auto.
Ah!
Yeah.
I need the crosshairs. Where's the damn crosshair?
Oh, that's right. I can't look up or down. Limitation of the engine.
Oh man, I know. Jump. Jump.
How do you do a battle royale on a flat plane? That's what I want to know.
Who cares? I want to try this.
It'd be interesting.
This would be fun. I think for the nostalgia's sake and the difficulty.
Yeah.
Would make this
because I did play Doom 2 over dial-up.
Yeah.
We did a number of Doom 2 tournaments with friends where we had 8 people on the same server.
I remember doing LAN parties with this.
Mm-hmm.
We did this, and we did Duke Nukem 3D.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, and this was like right when Tribes also came out.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Tribes.
Tribes would just come out for the LAN parties, and man, we would have I think like 16 to 24 people. Whew! But this was fun.
Yep.
But yeah, so if you want to experience, I think this is actually even free too to download.
Yes.
It is in beta.
Yeah.
So there might be some bugs. I think there's only a couple of levels, like 1 or 2 levels you can play with.
Yep.
But it's pretty cool.
Yep.
Test servers are up September 21st.
Mm-hmm. So, Red Dead Redemption comes out. I believe it's October 26th. I think is the day. 26th, 16th, something like that. I don't remember. I don't care.
You don't own a PlayStation?
I don't own a PlayStation or an Xbox One. So there we go. But anyway, Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out sometime in October. And someone wants to bring it to PC, but not the person you might think.
This was funny.
Go ahead and click on the next tab. The next tab has the... there you go.
There we go.
So, Rockstar announced a Red Dead Online beta, to which Devolver Digital said, "Hello, we'd like to help you publish your new cowboy game on the PC."
There's other ones I love. They just go. They keep going.
We're based out of Texas, so we're familiar with horses and chewing tobacco. Also, we own a gun. That last part isn't a threat. That just means we know about guns, and it seems like a plus for this game.
That was the one that got me. I was like, oh, that's it, man. That's the one.
DMs are open. Please like this comment if you'd like us to continue the conversation.
Oh, man, they just went for it. It was awesome.
I love Devolver Digital. We did meet with them briefly at PAX. They were a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, throwing some shade at Red Dead and having a little fun with the situation going. We know you guys are going to bring this to PC because the multiplayer market is there and you want to sell...
You need to sell your consoles first.
You want to sell your shark cards or your
whatever
poker chips or whatever the bloody hell you're going to call this.
Yeah, and you want to be part of the top 10 games of the chart for the next 5 years or whatever.
Right.
Of Red Dead to be for the next 5 years. Like,
we know it's coming, just announce it.
Yeah.
For God's sakes.
Just say it's coming in 1 year.
Right.
That's all you need to say because we all know it's coming in 1 year.
Yep. So... putting that Unreal Tournament server in the closet in the library because there was more power and network jacks there.
Dude, I will play Unreal Tournament. That was fun. I'll still play it till this day.
Yep. Yeah, cowboy game. Seriously. Yep. But you have horse balls and physics to pimp.
Well, they even sat there and stated that in this, the horse balls will shrink in the
colder weather. Right.
Who pays attention to zooming in on your horse's balls? Oh yeah, I see they shrank 2 pixels.
How would you like to be the animator in charge of that? Okay, so we're gonna fly you out to a horse farm in rural San Antonio. Okay, that sounds fun. Okay, so
now take pictures, animated pictures.
So we're gonna fly you out in the middle of July, the dead heat of the summer. It's gonna be 105 degrees there. Okay, what am I animating? You're going to look at the horse testicles. More specifically, the scrotum and how it hangs off the bottom of the horse.
Or when the horse is in heat.
Or when, So get them into a good gallop and see how they bounce around and get the mechanics of that just right. And then go ahead and come back. Okay, is that it? Well, we're going to send you back out in January. Okay, well, what am I reviewing then? The same thing.
Just do that again.
Yeah. We want you to do it, but we want you to do it in the snow. We want to see how horse testicles react in the snow.
Now, does that snowflake stick? Does it not stick?
How quickly does that snowflake melt?
Yeah.
Is there some droopage factor there, or is everything, high and tight?
Right? Yeah.
So, horse testicle physics. Now weather reactive.
Oh gosh.
Coming in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Now that's that's on your resume. Oh yeah, I animated horse testicles.
Yep.
I'm perfect at
I
that.
made horse testicles react with the ambient weather conditions. Accurate 3D model.
See, that's what Telltale was missing.
That's right.
They had that in their games.
Is horse testicle
Is
physics.
horse testicle physics in the Walking Dead series. They needed that. They needed undead testicle
I would have
physics.
played season 2, but it didn't have accurate horse testicle
Yeah, it
physics.
didn't have that. It didn't have undead physics. Because there was no blood clog movement. Like, how do you do that? There's no blood movement.
Yeah.
Or is there blood movement? Oh, I need to develop this further. Actually, but I do love the fact that they are talking about Developer Digital and what they're best known for in the article, and they were saying some of the original NES games and the cartridges and the cool things that they're doing.
Well, no, that's what they're doing now.
That's what they're doing now. Well,
Right.
that's what they're saying they're best known for. And then the upcoming Serious Sam 4.
Right.
Which actually I really like Serious Sam.
Yeah, Digital Devolver, they've got a couple hits, but one of their big...
Hotline Miami.
Hotline Miami is one of them. One of their big claims to fame is they're actually going back and resurrecting some old consoles. They're reproducing SNES, Genesis, and NES cartridges.
Yeah.
And one of the studios they're partnering with is MegaCat, which is another one that we met at
They were
PAX.
awesome people.
Awesome people.
Awesome people. Like some of the coolest guys we met
Yeah.
there. Unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to party with them, but we got to talk to them a lot. It would have been really fun to party with them.
Yes.
So next
time.
party. We party. We might even do a review of their stuff.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
Yep. Yeah, I've got a couple of things of theirs in the pipeline.
That'd be fun.
So,
Looking forward to that.
Yep.
That'd be fun.
all right. What is 9:52? Yeah,
Pretty good. We actually filled the
we filled the 2 hours.
we filled the 2 hours with pretty much people suing one another.
That was only 30 minutes.
Really, it felt longer.
Yeah, it was 7:30 to 8.
Oh, wow, video game stuff actually wasn't too bad.
I'd have to go back and no, it was longer than that.
It felt longer than that.
Sorry, 8:30 to 9. So yeah, it was only 30 minutes because we went over to game news at 9 o'clock.
Pretty good then. Pretty good. We're right on track. We don't even have a counter today.
Yeah, we're right on time.
Yeah. All right. Chit chat. Anyone want to talk to us? Questions?
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah. What do you
The
guys
floor
drinking?
is open.
Anyone drinking anything cool?
And donations are appreciated.
You know,
Donations will definitely get a question answered.
ask a Russian about what happens to horse balls in the snow.
As their weather is mostly in the snow. Well, how would they know how it reacts in
Yeah.
the summer? That's what I want to know. Star Trek, Picard.
There hasn't been any news on that yet.
There hasn't been anything official. There was a current Star Trek actress, who put out a feeler saying if there's going to be a Klingon in the Next Generation reboot, I want to be a Klingon in the Next Generation reboot. And it's a female... I forget who it was.
Well, there's only been one female Klingon.
Right. Well, regular. That was B'Elanna Torres.
Yeah.
Which, how did she get the name B'Elanna Torres?
Well, she was half human.
Right. Okay.
So she wasn't full Klingon. I believe her mother was human?
Yeah. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which, kind of weird for a human female to fall in love with a human or Klingon male.
Yeah.
See, it was usually the other way around, but I don't think... Well,
Rockstar just horsing around. Could you do a video on GTX 1070 at 4K? Maybe. I might think about doing that.
at 4K? Like he's shooting it at 4K, or you're... Gonna...
No, I'm gaming at 4K.
Oh, okay.
He wants gaming benchmarks at 4K.
That's Jeff's like, yeah, check it out.
That's
I'm shooting at 4K.
That's been pretty well done, unfortunately. I mean, Pascal, remember, Pascal is 2 years old at this point. It's over 2 years old. But speaking of the used market, it might be some new information for the used market. So that's actually not a terrible idea now that I think about it. A lot of people did 4K benchmarks when they came out, but that was, again, 2 years ago. And no one's really touched on the 1070 since
Can you find one that's been mined?
Well, I have a 1070.
Okay. Well, yeah, but how often have you used it? Because if you just had it on the shelf forever and you only use it for a couple months...
I proved mining has no degradation on performance.
Okay. Well, is it the mining? Oh, wait, is the 1070 mining?
No, my RX 580 is my mined card. But
you're okay. But
mining has no degradation.
But you also have the fact that I'm just stating that
a used card is going to perform equally as well as a new card. Okay. It is flat out. Yeah. There's no such thing as 3 of its CUDA cores aren't working anymore. It doesn't work that way. $2 Uber fare tip.
I'm drunk. Everyone thinks I'm drunk.
Uber fare for you, John.
Uber fare for me. How? Yeah. It's
father was human. Mother was Klingon.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So pulling an Elysian on her.
Yeah. Oh.
You remember that episode? Neelix got it on with the Klingons? There was a Klingon warship that was lost in the Delta Quadrant.
Neelix? I don't remember that one.
Oh, whoa. Oh, this is a whole side story. Okay, well, let's get into some Voyager talk here. So, shortly after 7 and 9 joined the crew, like maybe 3 or 4 episodes after, they're traveling at warp, and all of a sudden the Klingon warbird decloaks and starts shooting at them.
Yes.
Okay.
So which doesn't make sense.
So Voyager shoots back, says, "Oh, it's an 80-year-old bird of prey. We can shoot through its cloak." And so they targeted it, shot through its cloak, disabled the ship. And the Klingons say, "We refuse to surrender to a sworn enemy of the Klingon Empire." He goes, "We haven't been at war for 80 years."
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So anyway, all of a sudden they're friends now. So the Klingons come aboard Voyager, and Neelix is doing some cooking. Well, one of the Klingons has a thing for Harry Kim. And so she's trying to get it on with Harry. So Harry's like, no, Neelix, you have to hide me. Because this woman is relentless, and she's like biting my cheek and trying to like initiate mating rituals with me. And Neelix has been reading up on the Klingons, and so he goes, well, there's only one way to get you out of this, so play along. And he slams Harry against the wall and goes, when I say you only get one helping of you accept that. And sorry, sir, it'll never happen again. Now get back to get out of my sight, or something like that. So Neelix pulls the alpha male role on him to impress the Klingon. Well, later on,
Tuvok.
They break into Tuvok's quarters and do the nasty in Tuvok's quarters. Neelix and this Klingon woman.
I don't remember. I think I've only seen all of Voyager 3 times.
Yeah.
So it's not my favorite series.
It wasn't the best episode, but yeah, Neelix gets it on with a Klingon woman.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. No, I usually do a bi-yearly rehash of...
I'm going through Voyager right now, and I watched the episode a couple nights ago. It's the only reason it's fresh in my mind.
I'm season 5.
Yeah, I'm on season 4 of Voyager right now.
I'm on season 5 of TNG, and I'll probably start DS9 after I'm done with that.
Yeah, I'm running through Voyager, and I was gonna start DS9 probably end of October.
Yeah, I think. I've done Voyager 3 times. I've only done Enterprise.
Stan Hiccups are back. I don't know what it is about this new office, but.
Now, have you watched the CBS Online one?
I have not.
How have you not watched that one?
I haven't.
It's not that good, but
I know.
How have you not watched it?
Because I've heard it's not that good.
It's not that good.
Because the Orville is a better Star Trek than Discovery.
Yo, it totally is. It is more. Well, but the Orville is basically just original. Mm-hmm. It's just original. Mm-hmm. That's all. It's super campy. It's super this, and then it's original. And they're like, "Hey, let's throw Seth MacFarlane humor into it."
Super campy. You must forget the first 2 seasons of Star Trek: The Next Generation.
No,
and the first 2 seasons of DS9. If you want to talk campy and overacting.
Yes. No.
Voyager's the only one that got it right from episode 1.
No, Voyager wasn't good at all.
Voyager had one of the best episode 1s of.
Maybe episode 1, but didn't have the best season.
I will say the season was hit or miss as a whole.
Yes.
But as far as the characters being developed immediately and the actors being good immediately, they hit the ground running.
They may have hit the ground running, but then their mid-seasons were crap.
They were. It did take until 7 came on in season 4 for Voyager to get good.
Yeah.
Every single episode.
Once they had, yes.
And then there were still a couple misses.
Oh, a lot of misses. The holodeck comes to life. Wow, no one's ever thought of
Again.
that idea.
Yeah.
Oh, we are a ship with limited power. Well, we're going to divert power to give to you.
You know, actually, what's funny is the end of season 3 is B'Elanna Torres stumbling upon the holodeck simulation of the Maquis uprising on Voyager.
Really?
So I just watched that one too,
Yeah.
because that's right where I'm at. So Torres stumbles on this holodeck program where Chakotay, you play an ensign or a security officer, and Chakotay approaches you about overthrowing Voyager, and you can either join him or not join him. And it's this huge program that everyone's playing.
Well, I remember that one.
Well,
yeah,
then the story ends, and so Tom Paris and Tuvok agree to finish the story, and they start to edit the story. Well, when they go to edit the story, it turns out Cisco had modified the program, and then the holodeck takes over the ship and traps Tom and Tuvok inside.
I remember that episode.
So, yeah, the holodeck takes over, but a little bit different take on it.
I mean, like, how many times do holodecks need to take over? There was 3 or 4 in TNG.
Well, there was Moriarty twice.
There was
the cowboy episode.
There was the cowboy. There was Q doesn't count. That was the Q.
Do you count Barclay taking over, because that was him in his own personal world, like beating up Riker?
Well, the one where he builds the mainframe.
Oh, right.
Inside the holodeck.
Yeah.
But he didn't really take the holodeck. Didn't really take over. Barclay took over.
He secluded himself in the holodeck.
He secluded himself in the holodeck because he built himself a holodeck computer.
Yeah.
Somehow integrated. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
7 of 9. Only good thing about Voyager. I will say it enhanced Voyager.
It helped. It really helped. That's another problem I have with Voyager is all of a sudden this tiny, not even mid-range ship. It was a tiny mid-range.
It was
ship.
a science vessel.
It was that now is able to build craft, or shuttlecrafts that are like 5-6 person size with crew quarters, and they have one of those and 3 other shuttlecrafts. It's big enough to fit that, and there was a crew of 300 on Voyager. 200.
No, 180.
180.
150, 180.
So that
it wasn't a huge ship.
Yeah, exactly. So where did they get this material from?
Yeah.
It was just there was a lot of stuff they pulled out of thin air.
Right. Voyager has the most continuity issues. I will say second to the Next Generation with the whole Trill thing.
Yeah. So it's...
Oh, Riker's a joined Trill now, and we took it out, and he's going to be fine. It's okay.
Well, but the thing is, actually, I just saw that episode. I just saw that one, and then I just got into the whole, what is it? The DS9, the whole people, with the ridges on their face, on their noses. The Bajorans. The Bajorans. So they just introduced
the whole people with the ridges on their faces.
Everyone.
They're in Next Generation too, John.
Everyone. The Bajorans. But yeah, the makeup's completely
Real
different.
Laren had 5 whole episodes.
The only thing about the Bajoran in TNG is the earring. That's the only thing that's correct. In DS9, they completely changed their makeup and everything like that. The philosophy.
Well, no, Real Laren had the ridges.
She had the ridges. But if you look, then she has ridges. And then everyone in the colony also have like kind of these really high spikes.
Oh, yeah, a little more pronounced brow.
There's a really more pronounced brow and everything like that.
Well, remember the Cardassians had those killer sideburns.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they had killer sideburns. And then the big brown padding.
Well, they kept that in DS9.
It was gray and it...
But their chests were massive.
Massive.
Remember their outfits.
Yeah, their massive were plates. But I love that the fact that Gul Dukat, the same actor, plays a
Cardassian in TNG.
I was like, man, if they only made him Gul Dukat, that would
Yep. What they should have done is had the sideburns as a sign of like alpha within the Cardassian race. Like so bring him back.
Or at least in DS9 have a couple of them that like, they can grow facial hair.
Right.
Something that they can do.
Well, I think that was like a massive bone or something like that.
No,
was it facial hair?
It's just all facial hair.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just all hair.
Okay.
But
it was the late 80s. Give him a break.
Yeah, it was late 80s, early 90s. But what I do appreciate the fact that TNG, then DS9, you see like, they took that from that. And they refined it. Yeah. I mean, they did the same thing with Worf.
Yes.
They refined his ridges. They refined his hair. They refined his battle fighting techniques.
Yep. Yeah, they went in depth into Klingon culture and Next
Kim
Generation.
Kardashian. Yes, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
She's a Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has the
Gul Dukat of the Kardashian Empire.
Gold Dukat. Yeah. Oh, now that's a meme right there. Kardashians.
Oh, it has been for a while.
Sure.
It has been for a while. In my opinion, Klingons from Discovery would look better with hair, which is rumored. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is actually going to be rumored. So, which is actually funny.
And remember, if you remember the original series, the Klingons were basically just bushy-eyed people.
They just had eyebrows and goatees.
With goatee, sharper goatees.
And they had tanner skin.
Right, and then they alluded to that with the travel back in time from DS9 with Worf and
he said, "I don't want to talk about it."
Who are they? They're Klingons. What's with the? We do not discuss it with outsiders.
Yeah. And so, who is the original makeup artist for TNG? I forget it. But so there's this makeup show on Sci-Fi. And it's called Face Off.
Yes.
And so the host of it is actually his daughter. And
Okay.
he consults on it a lot of times.
Yeah.
So one of the judges.
Well, there was Picardo. There was Berman. Berman's the producer.
No. Yeah.
Who was the?
But anyways, so one of the judges, he's a very pronounced makeup artist. He does a lot of Tim Burton. He is now the new makeup artist for Discovery. And he came up personally with the new Klingon design, and it got a big backlash. And so he's stating that they're going to add hair and basically state that the hairless Klingon with the glitter and shiny skin is kind of
mid-transition genetic plague?
Not a mid-transition, more of a homage and a religious thing that they did.
Oh, okay.
And that the hairy should start coming back a little more, but they're still going to keep the...
What he needs to say is that sect of Klingons ruled the Empire for a while, and they were the most prominent ones. And then they were overthrown by the true Klingon sect, or something like that.
That would make...
I would totally buy that. Because the Klingons have undergone...
Michael Westmore.
Westmore.
Michael Westmore. Michael Westmore.
That's right.
So his daughter is... And he helps coach the show, too. So but actually, I really like the show because it does a lot of really cool makeup stuff. But, which is actually funny that Michael Westmore... So I sent everyone on Jeff's Patreon if you haven't been on there. It's great. It's only $1. Join Jeff's Patreon. We do have a lot of fun conversations about beer, alcohol, tech talk, Trek talk, whatever. Meme wars, all the time. But I brought up there that there's this Star Trek cruise that's coming up. And so Michael Westmore is one of the guests on there. But then there's a lot of TNG. Actually, surprisingly, there's almost someone from everyone except the original series. And there's even some graphic novels and comic book artists. They're having a Star Trek band that's going to be up there that's going to play a lot of different music from Star Trek or that they wrote that's about Star Trek.
Nice.
So, but it's a bit pricey. I think it's like $2,800 for the minimum.
Yeah, for one ticket.
Yeah. But it's a 5-day cruise, so you get to basically hang out with these people for 5 days.
Yeah.
You can drink with Worf. Worf and Riker. Will Wheaton will be there. Dr.
Pulaski?
No, not Pulaski, but the other one. Crusher.
Crusher
will be there. There's a couple people from the new show. No, Odo will be there.
Oh, nice, Renee.
What's her face? The one with the ridges.
Kira.
Yeah.
Yep.
The actress.
Nana Vister.
There you go. She'll be there. Not Quark's brother.
Nog.
Rom's wife. Rom's wife.
Oh,
the bartender chick.
Yes.
I was like, who wants that person? But I was like, I thought she was cute.
She was cute.
Back then, she was like, oh, nice. I guess she's like 60 now.
Yeah. Not Rose.
Not Ro. That's Rom. There you go, down.
Lita.
Yeah, Lita. She's Bajoran.
Yes. She was a Dubbel girl.
Yes. It would have been cool if Quark was there, or the actor who played it. That would have been like, oh, that's the bartender I want.
Yeah. Chase Masterson.
Yeah, Chase Masterson. Sorry.
Yep. Yeah, February 26, 1963. She's 55.
Yeah.
Would not have called that.
No.
Would not have called that.
No. But yeah, check out Jeff's Patreon. Join. It's super fun. We talk a lot. One of the four of us is always on. There's also just a bunch of a community of everyone else that helps each other, or we talk basically just whatever.
Yep.
You know, we do a lot of fun stuff. There's always someone on. I mean, I don't think I've ever been on, and we're on late. We're on like 3, 4 in the morning, and there's chats.
Unfortunately.
Still going on.
I don't sleep much.
So it's super fun. And there's even a specific Talking Heads section that we specifically pay attention to. A lot of special memes and pictures get posted on there.
Yep.
Inside stories, inside jokes.
Lots of those. All right. I think that's a pretty decent place to call it a night.
As I'm pimping Jeff out.
That's right. I don't know.
Yeah, I know you got it.
Hey, Mr. Nickelback. You got a shout out in the comments.
Yay! Look at my photograph.
Every time I see it, makes me laugh.
Yeah, shut up. I wish I made Nickelback money. Hey, if I was that guy, I honestly wouldn't care. I'd be like, I make money.
You know you'd rather be a rock star.
I don't know if that was a play on words of the song.
That was both.
Okay.
It was a little both.
It's a little, because yes, I'd rather would.
Hey, I'd rather be a rock star. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Episode 51 of Talking Heads. It's been fun. John, bring some better beer next time.
All right.
I mean, the Belgian Dubbel. Ooh, oh, yes.
That was good.
Fantastic. I'm still finishing mine. Trying to savor every moment because the Elysian wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad.
It's a good drinkable beer. It's nothing special, though.
No.
But this, don't ever bring Budweiser to my house again.
I'm gonna.
Don't ever.
Miller it is. If anyone wants to see my video, Miller was the one that won.
Good night, all.